With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us as always. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is hosting the 34th Annual General Meeting and Conference of the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police from today through Friday this week.
As criminal groups continue to develop more innovative ways to profit from crime using highly advanced technology, our law enforcement agencies need to stay one step ahead and continuously adapt to respond to the ever-changing threat. The regional dimension is key to further success as we deal with a growing threat from organized criminal groups and illicit finance. Here in the islands, we are developing an increased capability for forensics, ballistics, cyber cooperation, illicit finance, air operations, including a recently purchased second helicopter, an intelligence-led border control under a newly combined Customs and Border Control Department. And we have begun a major step up in community policing and more work on child safeguarding.
That our current Commissioner of Police, Derek Byrne, has taken a very different view. Under his leadership, improving the safety of our communities has become what it always should have been: a joint endeavor between the police and the elected government. We have welcomed the Commissioner's willingness not just to engage with us as elected representatives, but also to get out and talk directly to and listen to our people. He has responded to our concerns, and we have been willing to invest the resources that the Commissioner has told us he needs in order to reduce crime and make our communities safer. We have shared in a new approach to keeping neighborhoods safe, promoting visible and responsive policing, while also recognizing and facilitating the roles that communities themselves can play in keeping their areas safe.
Conference team improving policing effectiveness in a changing world. This in itself is a formidable task, and it is precisely why we as a collective body of regional police and law enforcement leaders and industry partners come together as key influencers to review current threats, risk, challenges, and to assess their impacts on regional safety and security. We come together to look at workable solutions, to hear about best international practice as we seek to bring about new and smarter ways of doing our business. Central to what we do and what we achieve are our cooperative and collaborative efforts to confront and dismantle criminal enterprises in all of their forms.
Commissioner Byrne said the overall goal of the ACCP is to facilitate regional law enforcement cooperation and exchange of expertise. And the annual general meeting and conference is one way of doing this. Commissioners of police, senior law enforcement policymakers, senior security professionals, government officials, industry partners, and practitioners will spend the next few days discussing regional and global crime and security challenges. Police Commissioner Byrne added that having the conference here means that many more officers locally have the chance to benefit from the workshops and exhibitions, which will be happening as part of the conference. Also making our headlines, the annual Child Month Team Panel discussion was held last week.
The Team Panel is one of our signature events for the month, and this creates a forum for students to come together to share their views and opinions on topics relevant to social, political, and cultural issues impacting our youth. It is also our community where we have the opportunity to acknowledge our children's voices, inclusive of their feelings, beliefs, opinions, and of course the solutions that they bring.
Now, the goal of the annual event is to get the views of adolescents and how they cope with stress caused by a variety of factors, from peer pressure surrounding social media, societal expectations, self-esteem issues, and their school exams. Now, panelists included students ages 14 to 17 from government and private high schools here on Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac. The event, organized by the Department of Children and Family Services, will be on our YouTube channel on a date to be announced. Well, it has been a full calendar of events this Child Month, as the Department of Children and Family Services aims to keep the public engaged on issues surrounding children and youth here in the Cayman Islands. Social worker Shireen Barnes tells us more.
24th of May, we're having a fabulous trivia game night at the John A. Campbell Primary School. We're inviting all the children to come out and play with us. We're going to have a variety of games and a variety of prizes, and we'll have food, and it's free for the family. Please come and join us.
Finally, for a look at our weekly schedule of programs here on CIG Television, you can go online to gis.gov.ky. If you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us, wishing you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe evening, and inviting you back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
The Esterly Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?